Charlie, stay in your seat.
I gotta show you this. Radar gaming jingle bell.
Wow.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. I am a business owner, a proud one at that. I love being an employer, and I love having a business where I can reach you and do this job, and it's great, and we have a lot of fun here. But what if you ran a business, and every time a customer walked in the door, you said, hey, go f*** yourself? You'd probably expect your stock price to look like that. And this is exactly what Disney's stock price looks like, because that's what Disney has been doing to their paying customers for nigh on 10 years when they've made nothing but bilge and trash and garbage and haven't had a billion-dollar movie in the better part of a decade. Disney has been collapsing, and Disney is now in panic mode. Disney is now trying desperately to convince itself that it can straighten out the ship before, of course, Apple steps in to buy all of Disney, which is going to happen. Trust me, what's going to happen next is Disney's going to sell itself for just a few shekels to Apple. But before that happens, Disney is sounding the panic alarm, saying effectively that they have really, really screwed the pooch. This is the Securities and Exchange Commission filing by the Walt Disney Company. Okay, this is the official document. It's monstrous, as you can well imagine. And I'm not going to read through the entire document here, but what I will do is jump right on over here to the part of the document where Disney says, quietly admitting that their ESG and social engineering activism has hurt the company and cost shareholders, putting on full display, again, how ESG prioritization clearly violates a fiduciary duty to your shareholders. Fiduciary duty is a fancy word for we have a obligation to not lose you money. That's all it means. And Disney lost a lot of people a lot of money. Again, go back over here. If you invested 5 years ago, pre-inflation dollars in Disney, if you invested $100 5 years ago, well, your $100 would be worth, as of 10/29/23, your $100 would be worth 70. That's not a fiduciary. That's not good fiduciary obligation. And here's what Disney is now admitting, okay? Inside of that SEC filing. In a recent filing, Disney appears to acknowledge that the invisible hand has slapped the House of Mouse. Here, let's quote from the exact report. In its SEC report, Disney acknowledges that we face risk relating to misalignment with the public and consumer tastes and preferences for entertainment, travel, and consumer products. In an implied nod to Adam Smith, the company observes that the success of our business depends on our ability to consistently create compelling content. Generally, our revenues, profitability are adversely impacted when our entertainment offerings and products, as well as our methods to make our offerings and products available to consumers, do not achieve sufficient consumer acceptance. Further, consumers' participation in our positions in matters of public interest, including the efforts to achieve certain environmental and social goals, often differ widely and present a risk to our reputation and brands. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we are so interested in this specific moment in time when Disney is trying desperately to rekindle, right here at the very bottom here, our reputation and brands. That is what Disney wants so badly to get back, because they have said F you to their paying customers, the families who liked their entertainment, who were raised like me on Toy Story, for instance. And then instead of giving us Tim Allen again in the standalone Buzz Lightyear film, they give us Chris Evans. Super woke, hyper woke, partisan, Democrat, Chris Evans. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all changing as Disney has seen the pain of doing something that spits in the face of families. Look at this. Lightyear is number 10 on the biggest Disney box office bombs ever. It has cracked the top 10. It lost $106 million. Lightyear bombed because, well, they kicked out Tim Allen, who is Buzz Lightyear. Bud Lightyear. There's a joke somewhere in there. And they replaced him again with loser Chris Evans. This is from the 15 biggest box office bombs ranked. So now what's happened? Disney, in a panic, has screamed back to Tim Allen and said, please, please, for the love of God, come back as Bud Lightyear. We're sorry. We come back as Buzz Lightyear. And we think this is hysterical for a number of reasons. One, Tim Allen is, of course, Buzz Lightyear, and this is Disney admitting their failure, right? Rank and file admitting their failure. Check this out from the article. Tim Allen spilled the tea, or rather the toy box, about the 5th installment of Toy Story on a interview on The Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon asked if Toy Story 5 rumors were true, and Tim said, Bob Iger says it's on. They've reached out to Tom and I to reprise the roles, and they're not saying anything about it. Here's what Tim Allen said on The Tonight Show.
I also read somewhere that you don't have to say if it's true or not, but I would love it if you did. Is there a Toy Story 5?
Oh, hey.
Did you hear that? Because I love the movies. But
one of the original creators of one of the series, and I don't drop his name because I know Bob Iger, head of Disney, said it was on. He actually said that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
They have reached out to Tom and I to reprise the roles. They're not saying anything about it. What it is for people like me, it's just like I'm a sci-fi buff. And you wonder if 4 was too many, is 5 going to be too much?
No.
And according to the scuttlebutt, the writer that's doing it wrote one of the better ones. And he said, if I didn't get this right, I wouldn't do it. So it could be a very, very interesting way to reunite it.
I would love to see it. I'd love it. You know, they're all great. They're all great.
Toy Story first debuted in 1995, was one of the first movies that I ever saw in theaters. I was not 8 years old at the time. And it blew my mind, right? Did you see Toy Story in theaters? Blew my mind. While Allen's Buzz Lightyear is a Pixar staple, the iconic character was voiced by Chris Evans. Uber woke, total loser, not box office draw, Chris Evans. Toy Story prequel outlining the Space Rangers origin story, which launched in theaters and made just north of $50 million in its opening weekend. Lightyear director Angus MacLean justified the voice choice to Vanity Fair, explaining that Evans had the gravitas and the movie star quality that our character needed to separate him from the movie version, Tim's version of the toy in Toy Story. Chris Evans is the movie star, you see, not Tim Allen. Oh, got it. All right. I wonder who has a bigger box office. Allen told Extra that the film had nothing to do with his Buzz Lightyear and claimed a whole new team had nothing to do with the first movies. Hanks and I, and as Hanks and I, Tom Hanks, there really is no Toy Story Buzz without Woody. Tom Hanks said he actually wanted to go head to head with Tim Allen with origin stories, and they didn't let Tim Allen do it. I don't understand that. Tom Hanks effectively ripping Disney as well. Man, how bad you got to be that Tom Hanks is now destroying you. Now, why would they not choose to cast Tim Allen? Well, maybe because in Tim Allen's new series, Last Man Standing, he has jokes like this.
So what do we call people that go willy-nilly through life just doing things because it feels good?
Democrats.
Attaboy.
Maybe because Tim Allen straight up says Christmas is a Christian holiday and we must celebrate the Christian origin story of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
I will say we will go dive into who St. Nicholas was in this one. And I wanted that, and I love the writers expanded the story, where he really came from. And the spirit of Christmas, again, it's a celebration of the birth of Jesus. And we have to admit that it's a Christian holiday. In these days, people, we don't want to say that. Well, it isn't a Druid holiday. That said, we go into the lineage of this, and you'll be surprised. I was about how far back this goes and where it really originated from.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to binge watch the entire thing. Tim, Thank you so much for your time today.
I'm sure you can't. So they're bringing back Tim Allen out of desperation. They canceled Tim Allen because he was a conservative, because he was a Trump supporter, because he was a Republican, because he's a Christian, and now they're bringing him back. Isn't that great? Isn't that something? Too little, too late, of course. You should never give Disney another dollar. Disney's not sexualizing children, says Bob Iger. If you're explaining, you're losing, Bob. You run a media company, so do I. Even I know that. Check this out. Bob Iger says, the notion that Disney is in any way sexualizing children is preposterous and inaccurate. Oh, really? Interesting. Well, one, there are naked people wandering around on your rides. Stricker was arrested today after parading around Disney on It's a Small World ride naked. I guess at least they arrested him and didn't give him his own series. The video of the arrest is hysterical. This is inside of Disney.
Idiot. What about these kids?
Okay, so people are yelling at this guy, but that's literally what Disney does. Disney exposes kids to sexually explicit content. Disney executive producer admits to gay agenda and adding queerness wherever she could. Isn't that wild? If there's a moment I felt like I don't have to be afraid to have these two characters kiss in the background. So just wherever I was adding queerness, no one would stop me. No one was trying to stop me. My not so secret gay agenda, says LaToya Revenue, the executive producer of Disney Television Animation. Whoa, this is an extremely, extremely powerful person. Here she is, bragging about it, bragging about sexualizing your children. And Disney apparently partners with people who partners with this person who dressed up as Minnie Mouse. This was apparently a paid Disney partnership. Also, clean your floors. Jeez. So yeah, if you catch them lying in the small things, they'll lie to you in the big things, and now they're lying to get your money back, and you shouldn't give it to them. Disney's bleak box office streak. Wish is the latest crack of the studio's once invincible armor. Wish bombed at the box office. You've probably never even heard of it, but it just follows in a long line of Disney bombs. 300,000 people have fled the Disney Plus fledgling streaming service, and Disney is now on track to have 4 of the top 5 biggest box office flops ever. So yeah, we're excited about what's happening. And we're glad that Tim Allen can go get himself like a big fat paycheck. Good for you. We want that for Tim Allen. Tim Allen is a legend in his Buzz Lightyear role. They should have never taken it from him. And I hope that you get a huge paycheck, Tim Allen. I hope you get like some type of grievance pay for them having super untalented, ultra woke Chris Evans try and swagger jack your legendary character that you created, that you brought to life. Anyway, smell the desperation and it makes me happy. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.